You're talking the NBA now. One game circled with a Sharpie last night. It was Sixers-Lakers. Best team in the East, first best team in the West. And the stars were shining. LeBron gave you 34. Embiid had 28. Ben Simmons triple-doubled last night. Thrilling fourth quarter until the Sixers, bam, stamped it with a one-point win. Our guy, Chris Broussard, bam, stamping our morning right now. Broussard, I know you love your Clippers, but was last night a potential NBA Finals preview? Maybe? Could you see past the Clippers to envision this somehow?
Well, Jenna, look, the key word you said was potential. Sure, it's a potential finals matchup. There's no doubt about it. I have the Lakers. I know you guys always hit me over on the Clippers. I've got the Lakers winning it in the West, winning it all, but definitely in the West. They're playing great defensively. I'll say this about the Clippers. It is not going to be easy for the Lakers. I do think this year they do have an all-LA Western Conference Finals. Clippers are playing excellent basketball under Ty Lue. He's helped them improve. They're the best three-point shooting team in the league, but I still have the Lakers over them. They play great team basketball. My one question about the Lakers is this. Anthony Davis. Defensively, he's playing great, but offensively, he has taken a step back. I expected him to leap forward and maybe be the MVP. He's scoring 22 points a game. That's the lowest since his second year. He's rebounding less than 9 a game. That's the lowest since his rookie year. And he's only getting to the free throw line 5 times a game. Again, the lowest since his rookie year. I want to see him step up and play better over the second half of the season. Now, the big question, obviously, is Philly in this scenario. I don't think they're the favorites in the East. I got Brooklyn. All right, but let's talk about Philly. They do look good. Doc Rivers has them playing very good basketball, top 5 defense. Tobias Harris is playing best in his career, as we figured he would under Doc Rivers. He did the same thing with the Clippers. They're shooting the 3 better. With them, my one concern is this. And I know Brandon, he's your MVP. He is playing at an MVP level. Joel Embiid, maybe he would be the MVP if the vote was today. But can he get closer to the basket? He's playing like he's 6'4". It's nice that he can shoot the mid-range jump shot. I like that. But he's trying to play like he's Kevin Durant. He's 25th in the league in points in the paint. He's 45th in the league in paint touches. But he's got something that no other team has. No other team can plant a guy down there and have him go to work. And then you use the jump shot to keep him off balance. His bread and butter should be more on the block. At the end of the game last night, where was he? The elbow, the free throw line extended, the three-point line. What? Because he's not. He's playing like a guard. And at the end of the game, he can get the other team in foul trouble, Brandon. He's not doing that like he's capable of doing, and that's huge. So I'm glad he can shoot the mid-range shot. He's playing great, but I would like to see him closer to the basket more, because what would Brooklyn do with that? What would, Milwaukee might have trouble with that. So I just think that's something they're missing out on that they could use to their advantage.
It's not gonna even come down to Embiid. Yes, right now, if the season stopped today, he should be the MVP. LeBron is turning it on the last week and a half, and I think at the end of the year he probably will be the MVP. But I think the 76ers have a lot to say. I mean, the Nets have a lot to say about this. You got to think about it. It's not going to come down to Joel Embiid. It's going to come down to the guys around him, because the Nets, they got 3 of the most skillful players that ever touch the basketball. That's way too much offense for them. I know, Nick, you keep talking about defense, and you're gonna go give me stats around the NBA for the last 15 years about defense. I get that. I understand it. But it's way too much offense for the 76ers. I know they're getting better shooting the ball. Steph Curry is playing really well for them. You got Danny Green is doing a good job. You talked about Tobias Harris. But are we really going to bank on Danny Green in the playoffs? Do we remember what happened in the bubble, Nick? Come on, that's a guy that was supposed to come in and help your boy out, LeBron James, and he was the first person they shipped out. So I just don't think they have enough offensively to get it done deep in the season.
All right, so let me address all of this here, because you're right. Listen, Nets look really good. Make it, take it. Nets beat the Hawks in overtime. Kudos to them. Another great defensive struggle with 252 points scored in that game. I do agree with Broussard that, because this is my finals pick, Lakers-Sixers. And I agree, the biggest advantage the Sixers would have in the playoffs against the Nets is Embiid bodying people, getting DeAndre Jordan in foul trouble, and then you're down to either Kevin Durant or Jeff Green trying to guard him. But I actually think, Wilds, last night's game, the Lakers should leave it feeling the best they have felt at any point all season, and the Sixers should leave it a little concerned. And that might sound odd because the Sixers won it. But what you saw last night was the difference between a champion that knows it can win any game and a team that is figuring out who it is. Because the Philly was clearly the better team for 45 minutes. And then in the final 3 minutes, the Lakers got every single defensive stop. They got almost every loose ball. And LeBron was finding three-point shooters with some of the most magnificent. The pass on the baseline was as good as you'll ever see. They went on a 13-0 run without LeBron scoring. And so Wilds, Philly ended up winning thanks to Tobias Harris. But I think they got to figure out how they're going to close games, because the Lakers know how they're going to close games, and they know if we got it, if it's a 10-point game with 4 minutes left, we still have a shot here, and that's what a champion is.
Yeah, well, I think there was two interesting plays, Broussard. I want to show them to you and get your take on it. The first was the play that sent the Lakers ahead, when Embiid was guarding Anthony Davis out in the corner like he was, like a real three-point threat. And I think that shows, and I know Anthony Davis has struggled a little bit, but that shows the versatility of that offense, Broussard, where you can put him out there and you have to drag Embiid all the way to the corner, then a quick cut after getting picked by Schroeder, which you have literally 100 pounds on. You get the go-ahead basket. The other one is this, Broussard, and it speaks to what you were saying about Embiid in the paint. Do we think that Embiid loves being down there? Do we think that he loves being down there in the mud like Shaq? When he goes up for this dunk on LeBron and he gets pushed down and lands, some would say theatrically, but he wanted LeBron. He was claiming oh, if I did that, I'd get thrown out. I also think, as a little bonus take, Broussard, I think it's weird that no Sixers players at least said, hey, LeBron, don't do that. That just looked a little bit weird. There was none of it. It was just hey, are you okay? You're floundering around on the ground. Are you all right? Do we want to get the medic out here? It seems like our star franchise players floundering around. I would like to see one Sixers player just say something to LeBron. Just give Embiid a little bit of support, even if it wasn't that flagrant of a flagrant foul.